Welcome to Real Talk Christian Podcast, where we drink coffee and have real conversations on faith, culture, and society. This is Mark Hyde.
And Chris Fuller.
And on today's episode, we're talking about Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. Is he a myth, a legend, the greatest of all time? There's only one way to find out. Fuller, you ready for a magic carpet? Crap. It ain't a magic carpet ride. It's a magic sleigh ride.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
I'm not editing that out at all.
I don't care.
Magic carpet. Wait, this ain't a magic carpet ride.
I like how you said crap.
Thank you for joining us at Real Talk Christian, a place where real Christians talk about real issues impacting the community and the world as it pertains to Christians. Now here are your hosts, Mark Hyde and Chris Fuller.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rocks. Mark, it's that time of year.
Dude, okay, so whenever I hear that song, all I can picture is the Mean Girl movie. And Lindsay Lohan and all them bratty little high school girls did the song in a little inappropriate, and I'm like, I can never hear this song again.
I never saw that.
I've
so.
seen Mean Girls 1, I've seen Mean Girls 2, and they are not nice. They are nice. There's a weird cult following with Mean Girls.
Hence the title?
It's okay.
Hence the title Mean Girls?
So, yeah, no, it's not a good thing. But either way, it is Christmas time. The trees are up. There is no more arguing about is the tree should be up or not, because Thanksgiving's passed. We've had our feast. We've had our Black Friday.
Right.
Or Contentment Friday, if you were listening last time.
Contentment Friday.
And now we are into the Christmas season, so we figured, why not talk about good old St. Nick?
Exactly. I mean, what better subject? Well, I guess I could say Jesus, but what better mythical creature than Santa Claus? I mean,
but before we get to the question, because apparently when we did the Disney episode, people got mad at us that we answered the question, do we like Disney or not, before we had the conversation.
Yeah, I mean.
So maybe we should answer the question of, do we celebrate Santa Claus or not till the end? Because we've disagreed a lot over the last many months.
Yes.
Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, Halloween.
Halloween, we
one.
disagreed pretty good. The church, we disagreed pretty big in terms of, is it for the believer, unbeliever, big church, little church?
Right.
So maybe we'll disagree today.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
The best part about this podcast is that Mark and I really never talk to each other about our opinions before we come here. And so we want it to be as real and as organic as possible.
Yep. So, but we do some prep. I said do, but we do have some prep involved. So either way, dude, so I want you to kick this off. So who is Santa Claus, and why the heck is he a big deal?
The reason why I kind of went back and did some research on Saint Nicholas or Sinterklaas.
Wait, what?
Sinterklaas is the way
Really?
you pronounce it. The Dutch pronounce it. Sinterklaas. Yeah. I went in.
I'm Googling this now. I don't
Go
trust
ahead.
you.
Sinterklaas. Klaas. Sinterklaas. Anyways, I don't know.
Well, crap. Look at that.
Yeah, see? I'm right. Anyways, it was
That's
on
cool.
It was on the internet. It's true.
It's on Wikipedia, guys. It's on Wikipedia.
But I wanted our
Right next-
listeners. I don't
right
know
next
if all
to
of our.
Krampus.
I don't know if all of our Krampus. Now there's a character. I don't know if all of our listeners understand where Santa Claus originated from or not. I did a little bit, but actually preparing for this podcast, I learned a lot, and there's a lot of information that is out there from the Greek Orthodox Church, obviously, because he was a Greek Orthodox bishop, that they have a lot of history on him that is pretty interesting. But I'm just going to kind of read some highlight points here for
The
our
highlight
listeners.
reel. ESPN top 10.
Well, I don't know about that, but okay. So Santa Claus is a character based off of Saint Nicholas. I'm sure everybody's heard, or hopefully you've heard of Saint Nicholas.
And good old St. Nick. I mean,
Yeah, jolly old Saint Nicholas. He's said to have been born around March 15th, 270 A.D., so a long time ago. And I couldn't pronounce the names of the places he was at, so it's modern day Turkey is where it originated.
Yeah, it's the city of Myra, dude.
Is
city
it Myra?
Of Myra,
Okay.
in Asia Minor.
There was some other name before there, and I'm just going to put modern day Turkey.
Oh, no, yeah, he traveled all over the place, man.
So legend has it that he gave away all of his wealth to help the sick and the poor. There's a story where he actually ran into a father who was very poor and could not afford to pay his daughter's dowries back in those days. You know, the dowries you had to pay to marry off people. So St. Nicholas actually paid the dowry for the 3 daughters so that they could be married.
Dang.
I mean, that's
better than Valentine, man.
that's pretty cool.
Can he pay for my wedding?
Had he not paid for that stuff though, the father was actually looking to sell his daughters into slavery or prostitution, is what the legend says.
Wait. So you either get married or you
go to prostitution. So, yeah. So
here's another plus for Christianity for saving women.
Yeah. So
that's cool, dude.
So Sinterklaas, otherwise known as Santa Claus, first made his appearance in the United States at the end of 1773 and the beginning of 1774 in a New York newspaper that was covering some Dutch immigrants that had come over, and they obviously held close to celebrating the death of St. Nicholas, which was supposedly December 6, 342 A.D., and that's according to History.com. So I hear, reading and researching, there's a lot of people that said, Santa Claus he's the, head of a pagan holiday.
Why would anybody say that?
It was all over. A lot of the Christian websites that I went to said that, Christmas is a pagan holiday and he's like the head.
He's the ringleader.
Yeah, he's the boss of this pagan holiday. So I just want to go and tell our listeners that no, Sinterklaas, a.k.a. St. Nicholas, was not. He was actually a bishop in the Greek Orthodox Church. He's also referred to as St. Nicholas the Wonder Worker because of many miracles that happened due to his prayers, which I thought was very interesting.
That's really interesting.
So
keyword due to his prayers.
Due to his
cool.
prayers. He was not only a man that served in his church, but tried to be like Christ in every way by through his deeds, helping the poor, helping the sick, and doing as many good deeds as he could. Not saying that it was basically fruit. I'm not saying he was trying to earn his way to heaven because I don't know. That was a long time ago. But if you want to read
but he
more,
wanted to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Is kind of what
exactly.
No, that's really cool.
And so there was pages and pages of information on the website, and we'll go ahead and drop the website in the show notes. But it's basically the Greek Orthodox Church, like their history
of
cool. him. So, that's a little background of St. Nicholas or Sinterklaas, since I like saying that word.
So what it sounds like is, let's not talk about Christmas yet, but it was more the fact of December 6th was Santa Claus's death, and the Dutch just wanted to remember his death.
So, the Catholic Church,
right?
It's similar in the Catholic Church that these saints they celebrate their deaths, basically.
Right. Well, Valentine's Day is one.
Right.
Because that's the day that St. Valentine died.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yep, St. Patrick's Day.
Same thing.
Yeah, I never understood St. Patrick's Day. Hey, this guy wants so many people with Jesus. Let's drink ourselves into a drunken stupor to remember his legacy.
I don't think that's how it started.
It's what it became.
It's what it became.
But
yeah, so I get that the character of Santa Claus is based off of St. Nicholas, but I would have a hard time saying that St. Nicholas was pagan based on everything that I read about his life.
So you did more research than I did. I know some of the miracles he did. I knew about how he went and he's the sacred. The patron saint. Of a lot of people, but mainly kids. He was the patron saint of kids, which therefore bring joy to kids by giving gifts and money and all these different
patron
things.
Saint of the poor and of children is the way they describe him.
And so he was what you would call...
He was a giver.
He was a giver. Like
he was a giver.
A flat A, or not flat A, type A giver or whatever, which is supposed to be what Christmas is all about. Christmas, just look at Scrooge. The man took, and the whole story is he needs to be a loving, giving, overflow person.
Christmas Carol.
Which, by the way, do you like... Which Christmas Carol is your favorite?
My favorite has to be the Muppets Christmas Carol.
I've never seen that.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure on Disney Disney Plus.
Is it on Disney Plus?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Which, by the way, I've lost so much sleep because of Disney Plus. It's not okay.
I haven't lost sleep because of Disney Plus, but I have enjoyed it so far.
Well, when you start Newsies at 11
Oh,
p.m. or 11:30 p.m., you have to stay up to finish.
you
the
just
Newsies.
became Janelle's best friend. She is
Dude.
in love with the musical The Newsies.
I was talking to her about the wonderful Christian Bale and his singing and awkward dancing and all, in that Brooklyn accent. I mean,
It was horrible Brooklyn accent.
horrible Brooklyn accent. But
It was almost like Dick Van Dyke's British accent.
that was bad.
It was pretty bad.
But either way, so I guess what I'm trying to figure out is the fact of we have this guy Saint Nick who, if it was happening today, I mean that's like Mother Teresa level.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like Gandhi level.
Given his entire life
Right.
to take care of those who are less fortunate than he is.
And actually, we give the Nobel Peace Prize to people like that nowadays.
Right. Oh yeah. So basically, he gave all of his riches and earnings, which at that time it was pretty. I mean,
Well, I believe it was his. And correct me. I mean, you know a little bit about it, but I'm trying to remember back. I think it was his uncle was a bishop in the.
it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know.
in the church, and he actually Nicholas. He started like reading passages in the church and growing, and that's where his passion for the people came from, is from seeing all these people poor and sick.
Which,
and
I mean,
needy.
that's who Jesus went to. That's the apostles went to. Which
Right.
the question then remains is, what are we doing about
Right.
that? But that's a different topic.
But-
so my question is we have this guy who we would theoretically should be putting up on a pedestal. How on earth does a man like that become the head of a pagan religion? Like, I'm actually like legitimately wondering that.
I do not understand how that correlates, other than Christianity had started celebrating this St. Nicholas Day on December 6th, and it turned into celebrating Jesus' birth and Christmas. From my understanding of it all, it was never started out here in America as a pagan holiday. It was more of a celebration of a great man and of our Lord Jesus' Savior.
Yeah, I mean, part of it though was, as far as I remember, the winter solstice. I mean, it was Catholic Church trying to redeem a pagan holiday,
Right.
so that might be part of it. But we're not talking about paganness of Christmas. More,
Right.
Santa's here.
We're talking about
Santa's
Santa.
not going anywhere.
Right.
Everywhere you go, the mall, downtown South Bend, Mishawaka, Elkhart, you can have breakfast with Santa. You can do this with Santa. You
Right.
can do that with Santa. Pictures with Santa. Bring your pets and get pictures with Santa. Whatever the
Right.
heck you want to do. So the question then is what do Christians, specifically Christian parents, do regarding Santa? Now, this is where opinions come out, man.
I can tell you what I do with my kids.
Well, how about this? Let's start with your child. This is me curious. I don't know your story about this one. So start with your childhood, bro.
So my childhood with it.
Stories with Chris Fuller.
All right, boys and girls, sit down and get warm by the fire. We're going to go into this story. No.
That was good.
So, as a child growing up, I celebrated Christmas just like any other American kid. Santa Claus was real. I totally 100% believed in Santa Claus. And I do not remember. I'm pretty sure it was my older brother that broke the news to me when I was like 6 or 7.
Older brother for the win.
That Santa Claus was a fake, and I was devastated.
Wait, were you really?
Oh, I was I to this day, I love the character of Santa Claus. I really do. I think it's he has a lot of great attributes. You know, it's this holly jolly guy that just wants to give gifts to people. It's like to
and
me,
eat cookies like that.
and eat cookies and
That's
milk.
my hero,
and
bro.
Wear red, which is my favorite color. So to me, it's like this guy's awesome.
He is the goat.
Yeah, he is. So, that was kind of my experience growing up with it. We celebrated Santa. I believe Santa. I remember one time at my house, we had a chimney in our family room or our fireplace, and like that's where we had our Christmas tree and our stockings and everything. And I went and slept on the couch, hoping to catch a glimpse of Santa Claus.
Oh, you were all in,
And my
bro.
my mom was so good with it.
Oh, geez, here we go.
That she would wait till I was dead asleep, and I'd go to sleep, and I'd keep waking up like every hour. But she somehow snuck in there, and when she snuck in there, I would wake up the next morning at like 3 a.m, and there'd be like half a living room full of presents. And I'm like, I knew I was a really good boy this year. Santa Claus loves me.
So now this is just me being funny. Did your mom use that as a weapon? Like, if you don't do this, Santa ain't coming.
No, I do not recall my mom ever weaponizing Santa Claus. I don't. But yeah, it was a magical time for me. It was, as a kid, I believed, Mickey Mouse was real. So it's, to me, it was.
Wait, he's not?
Sorry to break it to you, Mark, but the Disney characters aren't real.
I don't believe it. I will meet Elsa one day.
Disney Plus is a liar.
No, it's not. It's true.
Anyways.
But no, so you grew up believing Santa.
Yeah, definitely.
Had your world exploded.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what do you do with your kids?
Well, before we get into that, I want to hear your story and your background on it. I've been talking a lot, and I need a cup of
let me just
coffee.
put it this way. My parents were good Christians.
Oh,
just kidding.
Yes.
So I never. Santa Claus was always a hoax. It was always a fake. But my family. Let's put it this way. My mom is one of those decorators where every holiday the house becomes that holiday. I mean, we're talking Easter, Valentine's Day,
spring, summer,
fall, 4th of July. Like we have American flags all over the dang house. Like Mom, if there's an excuse to buy things and decorate the house, Mom was like, "Okay, Hallmark, I'll follow that holiday." Like, so Christmas was a big deal. In fact, we got pictures with Santa every single year up until my dad passed away. Okay, I remember being 11 or 10. It was either before Dad passed away or the year after. So I think it was the year before. So I was like 9, 10, and I did not want to sit on Santa's lap. I'm like, I'm not sitting on a grown man's lap, Mom. I'm not doing it. I know he's not real. Why do I have to go do it?
Right.
And she's like, just do it for the picture. Do it for me, Mark. And I'm
do
like,
it for Jesus.
So I remember I sat on Santa's lap, and I'm like, I didn't know what I wanted. Like, he asked me, "Hey, have you been a good boy?" And it's like, no. like what are you supposed to say? Yeah.
Coal for you.
So I told him I wanted the talking battleship. Just, I didn't know what else to say. But guess what?
You got the talking battleship?
No, I did not.
Oh.
I did not.
I would have laughed.
But
your mom's good.
So growing up, my grandma made my dad and my uncle take Christmas pictures with Santa up until college. Like he was 18, my uncle was 17, and they had to go get a picture with Santa Claus.
So it was one of those weird families.
One of those weird families. Yep. So we took pictures with Santa every year. We decorated the house. We sang Christmas carols. I still have memories of Dad whipping out his guitar and playing Jingle Bells and Sleigh Ride and all these different little Christmas tunes. And those are some of the only memories of Christmas I have. And we would pretend we were like on a one-horse open sleigh, and someone would be the reindeer, and someone would be like on the sleigh. It was cool.
Right.
But I always knew that Santa was not real. Now I was never.
You poor soul.
Poor unfortunate soul.
I'm just kidding.
So no, I never once believed Santa was real, but Santa was a big deal because it like what you said. My mom always said, "No, Santa's not real." But what was Santa all about? And then that's when Saint Nick comes in, and that's why I've learned about Saint Nick since as long as I can remember, that he was a real guy, a real saint who constantly gave. It's all about give.
Right.
So the spirit of Christmas is there, and it's found in this man, Santa Claus. So that's how I grew up doing it. And for Elliot, like, it's always, dude, I'm everything the teachable moment. We're walking through the mall. Elliot's like, "There's Santa," and it'd be like, "Yeah, dude, wave hi to him." He'll yell, "Hi, Santa." I'll be like, "Is Santa real?" He'll go, "Nope." But where's his reindeer? Like, so it's always like.
Do you remember in the mall when they used to have Rudolph, like the talking Rudolph? There would be like, it was an animatronic, like somebody would be the voice of Rudolph in the UP Mall.
That's terrifying.
It was actually pretty cool.
That's terrifying.
So
I hated the Chuck E. Cheese, which, by the way, they're getting rid of all the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. But I hate animatronics.
So
dude. They freaked me out as a kid.
I got a story for you real fast. Sorry to interrupt, but I got a story. So, after everything broke about Santa Claus to me, a few years later, my dad really was studying the holidays and was like dead against any pagan holiday. I mean, he was one of those good Christians. So it was like no Christmas tree. Like, we celebrated Hanukkah. Like, it was like we celebrated Passover. There was no Easter. There was none of this stuff. Nothing. We celebrated the Jewish holidays. That's what we did. So when he did it, this animatronic Rudolph with the man and the voice, it was probably camera or whatever it was. He was sitting there and he was like, "Hi, little boy, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm good." hey, I got a question for you. And he's like, oh yeah, what's that? And I'm like, you know Santa? He's like, yeah, I do. I said, if you move the N from the middle of his name to the N, what's that spell?
No.
And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, Satan. You follow Satan.
You were one of those kids.
Oh, yeah.
I would never have done
It
that.
was pretty funny, though. He was
Mm-mm.
like, okay, bye-bye.
Who's next? But no, so every time I walk by, I mean, Elliot knows Santa's not real. He
Right.
knows Jesus is real, but
Right.
but I want him to have that spirit of Christmas. He thinks it's a magical time. Like I was just telling you before the podcast, Elliot's Christmas tree's up in his bedroom.
Right.
It never left.
Okay.
We'd never put his Christmas tree
again,
away.
this is
ever.
This is November 15th when we're recording this. So Mark's already got his Christmas tree up.
My Christmas tree went up Monday.
Yeah.
Mine went up Monday.
Because it wasn't there last time
Nope.
we recorded.
My Christmas tree went up Monday.
I'm okay with that.
It was after Halloween, at least.
I've been listening to Christmas music since September and watching Christmas movies, so I'm okay with that.
Oh, see, I put Pentatonic Christmas on when I did the Christmas decoration,
yeah.
but no Christmas music since then. I just want the tree. I love the tree. I love my Christmas tree.
You got to get full blown into it.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Anyways,
drink the Kool-Aid.
Back to
So here's the question. So I mean, I talked a little bit about what I do for Elliot.
Right.
So what do you do for all your three little? I mean, obviously, like they're still young.
So
but
my kids are 2.5, 1.5, and 2 months. They're not old enough to really grasp the concept of real and not real. But even from this early age, we talk about how Santa is a character, and the Disney characters, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy. You know, Elsa. They love them, but we say these are characters. They're not real people. But it's okay to have fun and enjoy the entertainment of them and the message they bring, or like with Santa Claus, the spirit that they have, or that they bring along, that spirit of Christmas. I try to do that in every aspect because I see a lot of kids that are like, oh, you know, Cinderella. I'm going to be Cinderella, and then like they find out Cinderella. Like for me, I don't want my kids to experience what I experienced as a child. Of my world comes crashing down because I find out that I had been lied to for all these years, and Santa wasn't real. And so I'm trying to make sure I tell my kids the truth of he's a character, but it's okay. We can have fun with this character, just like you know us. We're Disney fanatics.
oh yeah,
We got Disney everything.
Disney Plus, baby.
Right. So, you know, we're a Disney family. We're a Christmas family.
Yep.
and we have fun with that. But we know that and we try to teach our kids that it's make-believe. You know, it's people that have used their imaginations to make something fun. That's what it is.
So where's the line? I guess is the question, because you have some parents, Christian or not, who let their kids like you believe in Santa Claus.
So
Then you have other ones where it's like I got a Facebook message from a friend of mine. They're a church member, and she asked about Santa because one of her other friends is on a mission to destroy Santa, and she's
Right.
like, I don't want to be that Christian who's known by my unbelieving friends as the lady who hates Santa and hates everything about our lives.
Right.
So it's like, where's that balance between Santa's not real, we need to cut him out of life, versus hey, Santa's real, believe in Santa, he's gonna come and give you presents.
Right.
Like, but by the way, I'm that parent which like, Santa don't get, I get dibs. Like, you gotta know, like, Daddy bought you that. Santa didn't buy you nothing.
yeah, Daddy gets
bought
credit.
you that. Daddy had to work hard to get that, so you earn it.
Yeah.
But so where's that line?
I think the line is just being honest. You don't have to go out to seek to destroy Santa Claus or Christmas or Easter or whatever other holiday or character or Disney character or whatever character you want. You can speak truth and gentleness and love and let them understand what the truth is without destroying the whole spirit behind it. And I think that's where the line is at. You know, as a child, I talked about, I grew up, you know, till I was like 6 or 7 or whatever it was, believing that Santa Claus was real. And then 5-6 years later, it was like, oh, it's from the devil. You know, it's a pagan holiday, because I was influenced by my dad and the research he was doing at the time. I was at both ends of the spectrum in my childhood, and I find that neither place is healthy. I read an article when I was preparing for this podcast of it was somebody said that, oh, well, it was some psychologist, and they were like, it's not good for children not to believe in Santa Claus. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And so I was reading
It's
like,
not good.
it's not good because it ruins their imagination, is what this psychologist said. And I don't remember. I didn't write it down because after I read that, I just like, trash. Like, I don't believe in lying to my children. So I did, yeah. But I think there's a fine line and a fine balance of not lying. My wife says something all the time. Janelle says, I don't understand people where they tell their kids, don't lie, but then they lie to their kids. It's a double standard, and she can't stand double standards, and it makes sense.
And we talked about that
right.
in a previous episode, the church hurting you, that double standard.
Right. And so I think it applies here, that why would we want to lie to our kids, but we don't have to destroy everything about it. We can bring out the good in it. Hey, listen, like I said, Santa Claus is a character. He's a fictional character. It's just make-believe, but this is what he represents. And what he represents kind of lines up with some of the things that Jesus does for us, who is real. And then you can kind of tie those two together to make it a fun, happy, giving holiday, but also understand that this is the time that most Christians have chose to celebrate the birth of Christ, even though we know that he wasn't born on December 25th. And if you don't know that, I'm sorry to burst your bubble here, but it's true.
He was born in June, guys.
See, you heard June. I heard September 14th from what I read.
If
so,
and this
I
is
don't
just
think,
memory. I think it's the fact of it was born during like the Israeli winter, which is in the summer. Here's actually another fun. Just geeking out now. This is absolutely nothing about the conversation. But did you know that Jesus was most likely not born in a stable in a manger?
He was born in a cave.
Actually, I think he was born in a basement of Joseph's parents' house because in what they did was there was no room in the inn. Well, inn translated is not always the word inn; it's house. And so normally when you would travel back to home, because he went back home, remember he went to Bethlehem where he's from, went to his parents' house, and they're like, no, not with like your wife's a harlot, she's a this, she's pregnant, this, that, and the other, you're not married, you're not welcome here. But you can go down and sleep with the animals. So, and so it's not fact, this is just where my view is the fact that Joseph was kicked down
I'm going to have to fact check you later.
The basement of his parents' house to sleep with the dogs and the donkeys because he wasn't worth being with the humans. So there's no room in the house, so he had to go down to the stable, which is the basement of the Jewish
But weren't
houses.
him and Mary already betrothed?
Well, yeah, they were betrothed, but
I thought they were married. It wasn't consummated, obviously, because
they were betrothed. They weren't married yet, but she was prego.
Well, The Star lied to me. Have you seen the movie The Star? It's a great.
That was a good movie.
It's a
actually.
great movie. That's why I made that reference.
Thanks
But anyways,
Oprah and Joel Osteen, but anywho, no, I think it's a fun movie.
Yeah, yeah.
But anywho, that's just here or there or whatnot. Yeah. This is kind of something that I'm wrestling with because honestly, like we talked about, like, do I let Elliot believe in Santa Claus? No, not as a real person, but dude, it's for me. It's like, why am I going to steal his joy away? I mean,
and I guess that's
whatever.
That's what it comes down to, though. Is there's that term "fun sucker," and I know life's not
fun
supposed
sponge,
to
or fun sponge.
I know life's not all about fun and games and everything, but
for a child, it is.
For a child, their imagination is all about fun, and so why not? As long as you're being honest with them and not lying to them, why not let them have the fun? And like my wife and I, we have a great time with Christmas. I have a sleeping, snoring Santa that I found at Goodwill for like $3, and I'm so excited. It plugs in, and his belly goes up and down, and he's like,
"Oh, I know that one. My grandma had one of those."
So my grandfather had it in his house, who passed away, and it was one of my memories of Christmas with him, and so that's why I bought it, because it reminds me of him.
So it's fun because it's Santa. You love Santa,
right?
And he's sleeping,
right? And it reminds me
of grandpa,
right? Exactly.
That's
so
cool.
That to me, Christmas was always a fun time with my family. Regardless of the situations, we always tried to get along during Christmas. And during my childhood, I didn't always, and we talked about this in episode 1, I didn't always have the best childhood upbringing.
Right.
And so I guess I personally draw back to those times where they were good family times, where we had fun together, we ate together, we laughed together, we played together. And so that's why it's magical for me, and I want my kids to experience that same thing, that, hey, it's magical because of the fun that we have together.
So I think we both agree that parents shouldn't, I mean, as a Christian, we should not lie to our kids.
Period.
Because that's a double standard.
Yeah.
So there are parents out there, you might know where I'm going. There's parents out there that do tell their kids about Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to answer this question or exactly how to ask it. How do we keep our kids, or do you think our kids should be the Santa ruiners of all time? Like, I can picture Elliot walking up to a kid and being like,
hey, yo, Santa's fake.
like, not like that, but they're like, oh, yeah, Santa's coming. Elliot goes, Santa? Not real.
Yeah.
Like, I can see Elliot totally doing that, and I can't control it. And in fact, there's always the annual youth pastor feed on my Facebook groups of how many junior hires' lives did you just destroy by telling them Santa's not real?
Well,
like it's a ton of them, dude. Ton of junior hires, like 6th, 7th graders still believe Santa Claus is real. Like, are you kidding me?
Here's my
how do we handle that?
Here's my advice, and it's just my opinion. My opinion is the more you talk about the negative side of Santa, about him not being real, the more that kids are going to retain that and parrot that. Kids typically imitate their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more you're the quote-unquote fun sucker of Christmas, now, Scrooge.
Would you say fun sucker? Because we both tell our kids Santa's not real.
Yeah, but I don't sit there and every day say Santa's not real, and you should tell everybody, and I don't, every person I meet, Santa's not real, Santa's not real, Santa's not real. I explain it to my kids when we start to get in that holiday spirit. Hey, it looks, Santa, or watch a movie, it's Santa Claus. Yep, that's Santa Claus. And you remember what we said about Santa Claus, right? And they're like, yeah, he not real? Yep, but who is real? Jesus. Yeah, Jesus is real. But Santa Claus has attributes of Jesus, right? So that's why we celebrate, and we're okay with the figurines or whatever of Santa Claus being here, because it's not about the character, it's about what the character represents. But I think that's the main thing, that if you focus so much on the negative, and it really applies to any part of our life. As a Christian, if you focus only on the negative, you're going to be a negative person. You're going to be a pessimist. If it's always woe is me, you're never going to see the good things that God does. And God can use anything. And my dad and I were just talking about this yesterday, because we work same place and our offices are right next to each other now. So we were talking about this during lunch, and he was telling me he had a revelation that, and it hit him more than it probably hit me, and so I'm probably not going to do it justice by how I say it, but he said that it really hit him that how God turns everything that is bad, the most and worst injustices in life, and makes it glorify him, turns it into good. And the example that we were talking about was Joseph. I
thought you were going to say Kanye.
Kanye too, but that was the first thing we were talking about. And my dad asked me a question: who had the most injustice done to them throughout history? And I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, thinking about the Bible characters, and he goes, it's Jesus. I'm like, right in the front of my face, and I missed it. Sitting here,
dude, I wasn't even thinking Jesus.
Overthinking it, but yeah.
I wasn't even thinking Jesus.
And he's like, the perfect, sinless, faultless man was murdered. We always say crucify. That's a nice way of putting it, but it's not nice. But he was murdered for nothing. Like, for obviously the salvation.
Right, but
for no reason.
But for no reason, right? In of himself,
right? And so, we can choose to focus on the negative things, or we can choose to see the positive things in life. I can choose to look at the things that happen to me and be negative about them, or I can look forward to what God's going to do with the evil and justice. And I think that's the way we, as Christians, need to have attitudes in our life of. If we only focus on the negative, back to what I was saying, if we only focus on the negative things that happen to us, we're going to be negative. But if we're only focusing with our children on the negative aspects of Christmas, that it was a pagan holiday, and originally the pagan holiday of Christmas was the winter solstice, and you dressed the tree up and tinsel and jewels and stuff, and it was supposed to represent the male part of some god that they were decorating and blah 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 blah,
and worship the tree. And
right. And a lot of Christians go to that Jeremiah, I believe it's 10:2 through 8, I think is what it is, where it talks about how these pagans were worshiping these, and how we and if you continue to read and really study that passage, it talks about how they worshipped the tree. I think if you're worshiping Christmas, then you're missing the point.
Mm-hmm.
If you have fun with Christmas and you're enjoying time together as a family, that's one thing. I think we should always, every time we're together as a family, we should celebrate together.
Mm-hmm.
So
You sound like me in Halloween.
what?
No, I love it, man. I think that's a good spot to end it, dude. I don't even think I have to add anything.
Oh no, you need to add some stuff.
I need to add something?
Just a little something.
Okay.
Way to throw you on the spot, right?
Here's what I will add.
That was good.
That's it. That's it. No, I mean, obviously, I mean, summing everything up, it's one of those things where, I mean, I love Christmas. I decorate for it. I set it up. I do all these things.
Right.
And I don't know, man. I get kind of mad when people take the fun out of things and want to ruin it for everybody just because they have a epiphany or
Right.
I don't know, a vendetta against something. But I just want to enjoy it, man. Enjoy it with the family and with the kids.
What's always the thing I always say? Live by your convictions. If you're convicted about it, all right, follow your convictions. But if you're not, and you're looking at it in a different light, enjoy it.
That's my sum up, guys.
So
Fuller summed it up for me.
Wait, I got to ask you a question.
Oh, geez, there's another one.
Yeah, we skipped over it from the beginning.
Oh, what was it?
It was. Oh, now I got to go back. So, would you celebrate Santa Claus, or is Santa Claus okay to celebrate? What's your thought?
Is Santa Claus okay to celebrate? I mean, I would say yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
I'd say yeah. Go ahead.
I would say Santa Claus, based off of a real person, Saint Nicholas. We talked about him, and the spirit that it brings.
And keeping that perspective in there. I mean,
Right.
the spirit of giving, the
Right.
spirit of sacrificial giving,
Right.
the spirit of joy and doing something for. I mean, so many times Christmas, and I'm trying to work on this with Elliot, is I want that. No, buddy, we can't buy it. Okay, I get it for Christmas, and it's like, okay, that was smart. But no. Okay, Daddy.
Piper's moved on to her birthday.
See, no, but Elliot's got smart. 'Cause I'll say, no, buddy. I'm like, okay. He goes, take a picture and send it to Grammy. And I'm like, what? No. So I want to teach Elliot that spirit of Christmas isn't for getting crap. It's
Right.
it's for giving stuff too.
Right.
And I honestly think Santa's a very good way of teaching that, a lesson,
Right.
a fable, a story, a parable, whatever word you want to use.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I mean, the real reason for the season is Jesus, the person who gave his life for us, and
Right.
therefore we're supposed to give our lives for others. And that's what Saint Nick did, man.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
Every
freaking
day.
crushed it every day. Every day,
Every day.
he's
Man.
shuffling.
Kanye's really influencing you.
No, that was a Kanye.
I don't know who it is.
That was Party Rockers.
No, I'm just saying because you said
Jesus is king, guys. Jesus is king. Don't forget it. Close on Sundays. You my Chick-fil-A. Number one with a lemonade. What's up?
When you guys sent me that song, I listened to I think it was 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
And I was like, nope, can't do
at
it.
the very end, he goes Chick-fil-A.
Jeez.
And in fact, my pastor buddy Sway, I saw a picture of this. That was one of his sermon points. Close on Sundays. You're my Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, bro, I love it. But either way, it's that time. We are wrapped up. But hey, we want to know your thoughts though too. Tell us about Santa Claus, what your family does, traditions, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We'll post some stuff on Facebook because we need to interact as a community, guys.
That's right.
And if you don't have a Facebook, get a Facebook.
And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or topics, go ahead and write us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Right?
Instagram.
We have an Instagram?
Yeah, of course we do. I'm hitting that stuff all the
Man.
time,
All
bro.
right, cool.
And we always end it with fun facts with Fuller.
Fun facts.
Is it a Christmas fun fact?
It is a Christmas fun fact, but it's a very short fun fact.
That's okay. I'm down. People are tired. It's been 42 minutes.
Right, exactly. So did you know that Christmas trees are grown in all 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska? Isn't that cool?
That's freaking sweet.
Dude.
Alaska makes sense, but Hawaii? That makes no sense.
Like, yeah, and Arizona, like, it's the desert.
Just get a palm tree, bro. Either way, we're signing off. Have a Merry Christmas.
Have a Merry Christmas.
We'll see you at New Year's.
Thank you for listening to Real Talk Christian. To help get our podcast into the ears of other people who need to hear these conversations, we would love for you to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts. To keep the conversations going, feel free to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and share our content with others. See you next time.